All right, so we're going to be talking about the astrological forecast from April 20th, Monday, April 20th to Sunday, April 26th. So on Monday, it's my birthday. So if you want to gift me something, it's going to be linked for people who are jumping in. And also it's like through my website, if anybody wants to buy me a coffee, send me love, deeply appreciate it. We have Mercury conjunct Saturn on the 20th and then Mercury conjunct Mars. Okay, now Thursday, April 23rd, Venus is conjunct Uranus, and then Venus moves into Gemini. Then on Saturday, April 26th, the Sun is square Pluto, and then Uranus enters Gemini. And then Sunday, April 26th, Venus is sextile Neptune, and then Mercury is square Jupiter. Okay. Yeah, what Harmony said there. Yeah. And it also like taking ritual baths and showers to release other people's energy, and also just knowing that like people only have access to your energy if you let them, and then also absorbing people's energy. You have to notice like where you overstepping your own boundaries by trying to save people. It works both ways. Yep. Yeah, I love all the hi Alana. Yes, birthday week. I'm gonna be going to the ghost. Okay, so let's talk about this day we've got up here. So Mercury conjunct Saturn, by the way, is there weird feedback from my mic with my fan on my face? Are we good? No? Oh, hell yeah. Perfect. Okay. So let's talk about Saturn and Aries for a second, because I feel like we really have to set the stage, because Saturn being in Aries has been so weird, right? Because all this energy that we have in Saturn in Aries has been very much like move faster, and Saturn in Aries is literally the coachman pulling the reins back on the horse, saying if you run too fast you are going to burn yourself out. So Mercury meeting Saturn here in Aries, it's like our communication is getting a little bit of a like ironically like a shoulder check, like how I did to my shelf. Like it's a little bit of a shoulder check of like, is this how you want to enter this next season with your communication? Do you want it? Because there's two sides of Aries. Hi, my Mercury is in Aries, so spokesperson for this. Mercury in Aries can be very blunt and rash and straight to the point and not really thinking before saying things, right? There's sort of this like one track mind of like bleh. But Mercury meeting Saturn here is like this moment of like, okay, how do I really want, like, it's a moment of reflection. It's a moment of like grounding the voice with Saturn, because Saturn's ruled by Capricorn. So there's like, how do I want my voice to carry me forward into the future, into this long-term vision of Saturn and Aries, which is going to be the next 2.5 years. Now, and the fact that we have Mars here as well, and Mars is presently conjunct Saturn as I'm speaking to you guys in the live stream, which is the 19th of April, which has been this energy of like, you have to mature your masculine energy, because Saturn is the father energy. It is the higher archetype of night energy. It's like the king energy. So there really is this like maturation when it comes to like making rash decisions and action. It's like there's a tempering that is happening with our communication and with our action. And so Mercury's coming in here now out of his post-retrograde shadow, fully in new territory, kind of joining the fray of like, what's going on, Aries energy? And then it's like, oh, it's a humbling. It's like, okay, we need to slow down. We need to like ground our voices. We need to like have a little bit of a serious internal conversation or external conversation, depending on what's coming up. I could see for some people, Mercury being conjunct Saturn and Mars on this Monday can bring in communication around like talking to authority figures, talking to masculine energy, game planning things like movement forward. That sort of energy could be present. But when I talk about astrology, I always like to talk about it on the internal level, because everything I say internally is external. As within, so without. That's what astrology is. As above, so below. It's just like this massive mirroring that's happening. So on an internal level, you're getting the opportunity to really sit with your relationship to action That's what Aries is about. It's like go. It's like instinct too. Your relationship to your instinct that you're like honing in. I'm seeing somebody that's like Saturn in Aries has been like deeply like refining their action by sitting with their sword and like sharpening it. Right. And so Mercury is this knowledge of the sharpening of the sword coming in, like the cerebral understanding coming in. And Mercury meeting Mars this day too, it's like finally being able to voice some of these things. That's what's coming in. I definitely have a hair in my eye and it's gonna make me go crazy. Fan is a good idea for me to stay cool. Sensory experience, this is definitely not a fun time. Okay. I think we made it. Made it through the wilderness. Okay. Checking in. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Cap, Sun, Saturn, Aries makes me feel like no rest is allowed. It's really interesting because I feel, at least my interpretation of that wild root, it's like that might be more of the egoic aspect of Mars and Aries. Cap, Sun, and Saturn and Aries. Saturn in Aries is actually about slowing down. It's like a weird inverse of it. It's like the maturation of Saturn in Aries is like you won't get to the finish line in a day. You won't get to the finish line in a day. So why are you acting as if you have to have it complete now? That's the mature expression of Saturn in Aries. It's like understanding the long game, understanding that if you build proper foundations now, it's going to sustain you. Now, another thing to add in, I've been really seeing Saturn in Aries, just that father archetype of telling like the young apprentice, right, which is Mars and Mercury kind of at this point, saying like, hey, if you want to stay warm in the winter, you need to start chopping wood now. No, you can't go play video games. You're gonna have to sit and chop the wood every day for an hour. And if you just set aside at least an hour every day for your dream, you'll look back 2 years from now being like, thank God I set aside 2 hours for my dream. Because Rome wasn't built in a day. And that's the knowledge I feel like that is coming in with Mercury meeting these two on this day, is like this massive like opening of like the mind meeting these things. And I'm not gonna lie, Mercury feels like this weird like chaotic energy. Mercury is a very neutral planet. He's a bit chaotic, Hermes is, and it kind of feels like he could shake some things up and be like, well, but why so lots of questions. Yes, that's what you mean. Oh, okay, good. Yes. No, I love that. Yeah. Okay, I love that wild root. I was like, no, don't push yourself. Precious Capricorn sun. No, you already do too much. But when I deepen into this day, because really these are all operating together, like if I just talk about Mercury conjunct Saturn, it's like understanding the blueprint, and then Mercury meeting Mars, it's like understanding the action to complete the blueprint. And it almost feels like Mercury is this bridge between the two, like they've met, but it's like Mars and Aries can kind of turn a cold shoulder to Saturn and be like, I know better. And Mercury's kind of coming in being like, hey, like honestly, this game plan's like kind of a good idea. Let me explain it to you in a way that makes sense to you, which is more like strategic battle plans in this Aries energy. Hi, Maria. We are talking about the astrological forecast for the week ahead. I don't do live natal chart readings because when I do readings, and all my clients who are in the chat can attest to this, I go deep and I talk about your pain points, your shadows, your traumas, all the deep things that are in your chart. And that is not something that I would ever do on a live stream. So if you're interested in getting a reading from me, that's all linked in my bio. That's like a personal one-on-one deep container where I hold you and really talk about these things. But we're just talking about the forecast for the week ahead and what to expect that's coming up. If I ever did a live stream talking about people's natal charts, I would, yes, it is linked in my bio, Maria. I would love to sit with you. That would be beautiful. It's called my natal chart deep dives. If I ever did read people's charts on TikTok, I would have to do it in like a lighthearted, funny, like roasting kind of way, just for funsies. Yay. Okay, sweet. Now, anything else about this Mercury? Yeah, Mercury feels a little bit like the peacekeeper a little bit. It's like the knowledge coming in of like, oh, I understand what Saturn's trying to get across, which is like this very rigid, like we need to like have a plan and strategic battle plan, and Mars is like, but we just need to take action on it. And so Mercury's coming in with the middle ground of understanding cognitively how to take action. Okay, so this is going to be a big day of like really settling into an inner knowing and a deeper inner instinct of like how to move forward with this new authentic energy that was just revealed from this new moon in Aries that brought up all the wounds. Like this is really like the energetic balm of like, okay, and it's not going to be perfect right now. It's going to take time. It's going to take time to integrate the pain points, take some time. Okay. So, but the movement is moving forward. All right. Questions, comments, concerns from the class here. I be yapping. Everybody drink some water. Water check. Ah, thank you, Maria. Yes, my birthday is tomorrow. Woo! Thank you. Thank you. I am feeling so blessed. If I think too hard about my birthday, I'm going to start crying again, guys. Thanks for the follow, Ayana. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump to the 23rd. This is a fun day. Guys, I've been thinking about this day. I've been thinking about this day since I was looking at it on my calendar. I have it like circled. I'm like, interesting. Because this is like Venus is conjunct Uranus right before she moves into Gemini. And then Gemini moves in the day after. It's a weird, like, it's weird. It's weird in a cool way. And I hope I can do my best to articulate this. Guys, it's doing the thing again where it's not letting me draw with my pencil. It's like doing this like weird thing. I don't know why it does this. So give me 1 second to fix this. I don't know why it's been doing this, but I have to just like turn off my display capture for a second so I don't accidentally dox myself, and then I have to open my task manager and close the thing I use. For those of you who are just popping in, how's the new moon for you guys? How is it feeling? Oop, sorry, I'm hitting the mic. Epic pen and task. I'm just gonna keep that open over here in case that happens again. New moon, yeah. It was like, guys, I had a whole plan of what I wanted to do on the new moon, and that was not it. That's not at all what happened. I ended up holding space for my family, which is on point for what the new moon was actually needing me to do. Oh, I didn't open the epic pen. Well, epic pen. Okay, I think we are good to go. It's so weird that it's been doing that. Hi, Cole. Stop lurking. How's the new moon for you? Yeah. Venus, Uranus, conjunct 5th house. Let's go. Creative energy. Yummy. Okay, so this is interesting. Yo, let's go. Thanks for the follow. Shoot for the sun. You're playing No Man's Sky Dog. I didn't know they had No Man's Sky Dog. I saw the comma. Don't worry. You did perfectly punctuate it. Okay, so let's talk about the 23rd. So Venus is in Taurus and Uranus is in Taurus. They're both at 29 degrees, making this conjunction. Okay. This is neat. And I'm saying it's neat because literally hours later, Venus moves into Gemini, and then 2 days later, Uranus moves into Gemini. So there's like this weird passing of the guard that's kind of happening, how I'm like perceiving it. Whenever planets come into conjunction together, they like mesh together and they like trade information. For those of you who have seen, how do I explain this? What's it called? Pantheon on Netflix. Freaking love it. Definitely give it a watch if you haven't. But it's like taking the code from Uranus and Taurus and taking the code from Venus and Taurus, and then them having like the experience is like this love child of like DNA coming together, of like source code coming together, and there's this experience that happens. I hope that makes sense. Not going to overly explain that, but basically, these two coming together at the final degree of Taurus feels like this like unexpected maturation of abundance, of value, of resource, like this crazy, beautiful expression of worth. Okay. Shoot for the sun. I do readings. You can take a peek at my links here, and my natal chart. I do transit readings. I do have a reading for that of transits readings. It's under like, I think it literally says transit readings, but let me know if you need help navigating that. But let's deepen into this Taurus energy, right? Because we have the sun at the beginning of Taurus, and then we have these two planets hanging out at the final degree of Taurus together, conjunct. It really feels like let's talk about Uranus for a second. Uranus and Taurus has been having us like really understand and change our idea of what it means to have value, of what it means to have abundance, right? Abundance doesn't have to be a number in the bank account. Abundance can be a healthy lawn outside. Abundance can be the clothes on your back. Abundance can be the beautiful food that's in your plate, like on your plate. Right. And so there's this sort of readdressing of what abundance means. And like, this isn't to say like, don't want money. Like Taurus is all about money. Let's be honest, about like abundance, right? These two coming together is like this massive awakening around like your worth, your values, your desire, and your pleasure, like really being activated here. Because Uranus is all about unexpected change, unexpected surprises, unexpected insight coming in. And in Taurus, it's so different. So it's like this body-based like reckoning is what it feels like something snapping into place. I keep getting visions of like glow sticks snapping and then starting to glow, and it almost feels like this like something cracking open inside of you that is really allowing a new illumination of how you give and receive love. I feel like this is basically 1000% correlated to my experience yesterday with my friends throwing me a birthday party. I'm like, what is this? What is this love? What is this love that I'm receiving? That feels like the epitome of this Venus conjunct Uranus. It's opening up the doorway for more love to come in, more pleasure to come in, more abundance to come in. And again, that's deeply unique. And it might just be like a whole realization of like everything that you've had up until this point hasn't actually been in true alignment of like what your core desires are. This is going to be a day of like really like getting a widening and opening of your aperture of like what truly fucking matters to you and your heart. And it looks completely different. We are talking about Uranus in Taurus, conjunct Venus in Taurus on April 23rd. We're talking about the transits. Does that mean it's a good time to take risks? Could be. Risks are always risks. Life is a risk. I look at astrology as opportunities. You know, no matter what you're going to learn from the risk, it's going to be an opportunity. I'd see this as like really opening your heart to new circumstances. Uranus is more unexpected. It's more like you couldn't, like, right place, right time kind of energy, where it's like you couldn't have guessed this. You couldn't have like strategically planned this, whatever this is. Okay. You know, it's really crazy for those of you who are joining for the first time. And if you haven't met me, I'm Izzy. On my TikTok account, I go by 8th House Mercury. If you're hanging out with me on Twitch, I go by Astremia here. Different names, different platforms, but I've been studying astrology for the last 11 years, and deepest passion, favorite thing to do. I go live every Sunday at 2 p.m. PST to talk about these transits for the week ahead. And what's really fun, I don't really look at the transits until I'm sitting here with you guys and I'm just talking about them. Like, I'll look, I have a giant calendar of like the whole year, and I'll be like, huh, that's an interesting day. I wonder what like will come through here. I'm just showing up real with you guys, real time. So this, for me, this day has caught my attention when I was writing it down, when I was creating this calendar, because of the fact that then Venus passes over into Gemini. So it's like this moment of the aperture opening, receiving whatever's happening that day. I really feel like it's just unexpected, like money, unexpected blessings, unexpected like love pouring in, unexpected, like it could literally be looking at a flower and being like, oh my God, that's the most beautiful thing in this world. I can't believe I'm alive on earth in this moment right now. Unless you have something at 29 degrees of a fixed sign, then that would be more personal. This is just like energetic tone of like what's kind of surfacing. So then later in the day, if we change this to hours, let's go ahead and shift. Keep an eye on Venus here, which is the symbol for female. We'll shift into Gemini. I think it's pretty late in the evening, but I really love this energy because it's like, what it feels like to me is like, what if you could have more? What about more? What if you could have more love? What if you could have more abundance? What if you could have higher values, higher value system, right? And I was speaking to some of you guys prior, right? Remember, the energy was a little rocky at the beginning, and I cleared it. And I said to you guys, like, it's okay to cut out shaky energy from your life. When people aren't consistent, if things are like not giving you the best feeling, it's okay for you to like not have that a part of your life. And that's kind of what this Venus with Uranus is it's like, I want high quality people, places, and things in my life, and being unexpectedly surprised. Thank you guys. Thanks, Freebird and Carl. I appreciate the hearts. Okay. So then Venus moves into Gemini. Wow, really late in the evening. There we go. Venus is in Gemini. So let's talk about Venus and Gemini. So this is a shift in tone of how we give and receive love. This is a shift into more of a cerebral, like verbal talking of communicating, I love you out loud. It's less of like body-based, like let me bake a cake for you, which is kind of Venus and Taurus, like let me here's a cake. Venus and Gemini is more flirtatious, is more cerebral. It's like a butterfly that kind of flits around from flower to flower and like connecting with different perspectives, different beautiful things in the world. I love Gemini energy. Gemini gets such a bad rep, and I will always go to bat for my Gemini people, because you guys have the constant juxtaposition of having a part of you that knows you are going to die within you, and a part of you that knows that you are a soul that will live forever, and they're constantly fighting each other. You guys are like, ah! So get a reading from me, Geminis, because I love you. I would love to sit with you guys. I'm like, when I see my Gemini people, I'm like, yes, let me help. Let me help you, because you guys get such a bad rep. It's intense. Yes. My Geminis are like, yes, thank you. Amen. Yes, 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 yes. Love you guys. And with Venus moving into Gemini, it's like this lightness, and it's like, can we stop taking things so fucking seriously? Can we just like have fun? This is where humor comes in. This is where like the gift of the gab comes in, where it's like having really fun conversation and things are lighter, brighter, beautiful, just like expression of the voice, poetry, writing. It might be a time for you to like use your voice to express your love for people or have that in a receptive tone as well. Hey, you know what? This would be a great day for me to share my second part for my massive thing that I've been writing about relationships on my Substack. So if you're not subscribed to Letters from the 8th House, I've been like doing a vulnerability share. So I'm saying this for my friends that are in the chat. Hold me accountable. Subscribe to my newsletter, Letters from the 8th House. By the way, for those of you who are joining for the first time, I take everything that I say here, and after this live stream, I'm going to be writing it. I write out the transits because I am a teacher at heart. Mr. Squawknado is one of my old coworkers who can say this. He's seen me teach. I like to write everything out because not all of us are verbal processors. Not all of us can process things verbally, and I take that to heart, so I write everything out. And so I have my newsletter, Letters from the 8th House. You can subscribe through the link in my bio. It's totally free. Every Monday, that email hits your inbox at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time so that you can read and just like have those touch points. And then also, if you weren't here at the beginning of this live stream, I re-upload this all to YouTube. I'm trying to make this knowledge accessible for everybody. Okay. So yeah, I love Venus and Gemini, flirtatious, fun, laughter, play. It's like childlike energy. Wanting to get to know yourself again, especially like after this moment of her being conjunct Uranus. Freaking amazing. Okay. So love it. All right, let's move forward. Also, welcome to all the new people popping into the live stream. Thank you guys for liking and sharing. It really gets my content out to other people who may enjoy it and connect with my stuff. I see you guys. I see all the love. Okay. Let's switch to day. My jaw is all crunchy. Crunchy jaw. Okay, just taking a peek here. Okay, cool. All right, we're good. We're good. Also, I'm going to say hi to you guys on my other account that's in the chat. That's where I post astrology updates here on TikTok. If you're not following me there, little homework assignment can be, oh gosh, one of my mom's dogs farted. No, Mia, I know that was you. Yeah, that face is guilty. Ew. This is why I don't have dogs. They fart. Dang it. They're so funny. Okay. All right, let's talk about the 25th of April. So to begin with, we have a square happening from the Sun in Taurus to Pluto in Aquarius. Okay, interesting energy. So squares are tension, you know, for those of you who have like been consistent in showing up. It's been almost a year that I've been live streaming every Sunday. Freaking crazy, guys. Okay. Squares, 90-degree angles that create tension within astrology. One person wants one thing, the other wants another. It creates tension. I like to think about it like the tectonic plates, where they're just, you know, they're rubbing up against each other, and, you know, they shift and something happens. Something occurs as a result of the tension that happens. So the Sun in Taurus, fucking stubborn. Hi, I'm your spokesperson. We're stubborn as shit. With the Sun in Taurus, it's kind of like, I'll be honest, it's very much the, like, from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, you know, Veronica, where she's like, but daddy, I want this, you know, like this, like really like I want this because I want it and I deserve it. Princess energy. The crown is for a reason. My moon's in Aquarius. I live with this square in my life, so you know. Do you have to poop? What do you guys need? Because that stinks so bad, guys. I might die. I might die, guys. I have my mom's dogs in here. Oh, no. He's going back to bed. Okay. Yes, Aquarius moon. Freaking freaks. We're freaks. I love us. Okay. I have to remove the sweater now. I'm like way too warm. Too warm. And it's like not even that like hot. It's like weird hot. I gotta make sure the crown's straight, and this is so hard because the cameras are mirrored, guys. We'll talk about this square in a second. Let me I'm way too comfortable with you guys. Thumbnail. I'm sorry. Okay, so let's talk about this square. So the sun wants what it wants, and Pluto in Aquarius is like funny, right? And I say that because Pluto in Aquarius is all about like humbling for authenticity. So this square is very much like, I know you want the things that you want for yourself, but you need to think about the bigger picture. It's bigger picture thinking, because Pluto in Aquarius is really, really stripping down inauthentic energy. And so there's an edge with the sun in Taurus where it's like, is this materialism that can kind of come from the Taurus energy? Is this an authentic expression of what you truly desire, of what you're going after? And that's all this square is doing, is just testing, like, it's testing your foundation of your identity. It's testing, like, if you're being true to who you are or not. It's interesting. It's an interesting one. Because Pluto in Aquarius has been really asking people to basically go against the status quo. Just be so authentic to the point. Authenticity is the only thing that matters right now in the world with Pluto in Aquarius. If you're not being yourself, nothing's working. And so this square to the sun in Taurus is really asking, like, are you being embodied in that self? Or are you, you know, kind of just doing some flashy stuff? And Taurus can be a bit materialistic. It can be a bit like stubborn and stuck in its patterns. So this square is really like shaking up the foundations of, like, you've got to have some flexibility somehow. You've got to make sure that whatever you're putting out into the world is real, is authentic, is true to you. So I'm like, and it's, guys, like, it feels a little bit like a little bit of a temper tantrum to a certain degree of like, well, but I want this, versus like, this is a real thing, because I'm going to speak from personal experience in the sort of lens that I'm in as somebody who shares myself online. There's an edge of like, there's parts of me that like don't want to be seen publicly, right? That I'm like, these are mine, they're private, and I don't want to share, right? That's the thing about Taurus, is like, I don't want to share. And that's that. Okay. And Pluto in Aquarius is like, you have to share. Sharing is caring. And the sun in Taurus is like, but I don't want to. But it's humbling. It's good, because the thing about this square is it brings like the more raw authenticity of like struggling to share, struggling to like put the stuff out there, and like being embodied in it. That's like going to be the bigger shift with this square. It's like, how do you embody the true expression of yourself? Are you talking about this little star? This guy is Urania, which is a asteroid that represents like astrology technically. I had a client who was really all about it, and so I forgot to remove it, so she just kind of hangs out here. So later in the day, on the 25th, Uranus finally stations into Gemini and moves forward into Gemini. Ingress, that's the word. I'm like, it's not station. Ingresses into Gemini and is finally there. We had a taste of Uranus and Gemini back in July of 2025. What a freaking crazy experience that was. That was when a lot of like AI competition was like big and bold. Like there was like this like kind of like cutthroat like moment of them going after each other. This is like all about technology advancing, and especially with Pluto and Aquarius too. This is like going to be big movement energy. Really, really cool stuff. I have a full YouTube video breaking this down and how it's affecting you personally based off of your rising sign. So you can check out my YouTube under the account Astremia to watch that. But I'm so fucking ready because this is like the last of the the outer planets that's moving into its new sign. Guys, I just had a full freak out moment where I'm like, oh my God, I'm sitting here talking to my computer. And this is weird. I'm having like I'm having a moment. This is weird. You guys don't even know what it's like to be weird. Like weird on this other side of the screen where I'm sitting here and I just see names on my screen. I don't even know if you guys are real. I'm freaking out, guys. I'm freaking out. Thanks for the likes. I'm like, what even is this? We're real, boy. We're real. I'm like, what is this thing that I'm doing? I'm not even sure I exist, real. I'm like, what am I doing? I'm just a person on your screen. Am I real? How do you know I'm not like AI? Thank you for the rose. Just kidding. I just would like literally like was like, this is strange. My ancestors are like, what is happening? What is she doing? Anyways, Uranus and Gemini, like this is fun energy though, because really this is shifting communication big time. So Uranus, having been in Taurus for the last 7 years, was all about how we changed our vision of our values. That's why I had that moment of like, holy fuck, I'm like literally talking to you guys and you're not physically here. Uranus moving into Gemini is about to change how we communicate tenfold. Communication is going to go wild. So depending on where Uranus is within your natal chart and how it's affecting you personally is going to be deeply unique for you. And especially if you have Gemini placements, especially at the earlier degrees. So Uranus shifting into Gemini is going to be a change in technology, communication, connection, like how we connect with one another, right? When I talked about Venus moving into Gemini, and that's why I felt it was really strange, because like Venus kind of like basically got a whole download of like all the lessons that Uranus was moving through Taurus, and then like got past the torch, and then she crossed over into Gemini, and it was like this whole new expression of this embodiment. And then like Uranus moving into Gemini is like this whole new expression. I hope that's making sense how I'm perceiving this in my mind's eye. It's like, it's pretty massive. It's pretty massive. Pretty freaking massive. How do you check if you have things in Gemini? You would have to look at your natal chart. You could use AstroSeek, astro.com, time passages. I'm using the platform here called Luna. Uranus and Aquarius in your 6th house. So it would make, you would have to look at your chart. Feel free to join my Discord community, you guys, if you have more astro questions. You can always drop your chart and ask those questions. We have a lot of people that know astrology in the space, not just me. Welcome, Damien. Hi, Anna. Hi, Bella. I see you guys popping in. We're talking about the astro forecast for the week ahead. But this is a big change of pace. So I need to take a pause and really talk about like how everything is changing, because now we have the final outer planet of Uranus in Gemini. So that means Saturn and Neptune are all in new signs. Pluto's in Aquarius, has been since 2024, November 2024. So now all of the outer planets are in their new signs. So this is where we all need to take a pause. Deep breath. Hi, Bianca. I see you. I love seeing Bianca's face, because Bianca has been like one of my OG followers, like back in the day. It feels like back in the day. Thanks, Jen. So whenever I see you in here, I'm like, my heart, my girl. So, okay, coming back into the message, coming back into, I love you. Coming back in to talk about this, because Pluto had been in Capricorn for 30 years. Now we have a 30-year Aquarian cycle. Saturn had been in Pisces for 2.5 years in Aries, or in Pisces, and Neptune had been in Pisces for 14 years. Uranus had been in Taurus for 7 years. So we're looking at like these bigger themes, these bigger cycles coming to a fucking close, like fully closing down. Thank you, Jen. So this is how I've been articulating this. I articulated it the same way back in summer of 2025, because they all ingressed into the new sign. So we basically had a trailer of like what's to come, 2020, spring 2026. Like, this is what it's going to be like. It's like all the old gods. That's how I kind of refer the outer planets to. They're like the old gods. They really hold down the foundation of the deeper themes that we're going through, are switching to new gods. It's like, imagine like the old pantheon of something getting like a new pantheon. It's now I'm just thinking about like, you know, Christian crusades and like some of those, and that relates to the world that we're in right now. That I don't go into world politics, astrology, that's not my place, but as within, so with that is happening. I'm gonna say, like, you know, things are shifting completely. So looking at that, there is a change of tide that's happening at a deep level, and the world that we've known is it's not the same anymore. It is not the same. It's not. And so from personal experience, having like a lot of conversations with Gen X and boomers in my life, they're trying to like say all these things, and I'm here as the astrologer of my family. I'm like, you guys don't understand. It's not going to work the same. And I'm telling you guys this. It's not going to work the same. We are in the wild west of technology right now, and Uranus moving into Gemini is just amplifying it. Nobody knows what the fuck they're doing, so just go for it. It's wild west, completely like gold rush energy, like figure it out. You might create something that has yet to be created. And Uranus in Gemini is, please stay grounded, my sweet friends. It's nice that we have the sun in Taurus at this time, but your grounding techniques are going to be so important during this 7-year cycle of Uranus in Gemini, because the downloads, the like mental stuff that's going to be going on, it's going to be a lot. So like really grounding into practices and like being outside and like meditation and embodiment stuff, like really leaning into that. So everything's changing is basically what I'm saying. Come Saturday, April 25th, the world as we know it. And here's the thing is, like, society is going to try to keep up this facade of like everything operating the same, because that's what they do. So just really see through the facades, really feel into things intuitively, like just soften into that. So Uranus moving into Gemini, I love it. lots of ideas. I've been seeing some of the up and coming trends that I would say are going to be big things is more live streaming. Obviously, live streaming is a big thing, but a lot of people, more people going live, and more cyberpunk stuff or solar punk stuff, cyberpunk, solar punk coming in, where people are like repurposing technology. That's already been happening. I've been seeing that a lot lately of people like creating new things out of old things. New form of communication. So I don't think a lot of like text, I don't know what it's going to be. It's yet to be invented. More people are going to be psychically connected for sure. Like literally like cognitively like hearing each other. That, but also, yeah, it's going to be interesting with like the advancement of AI and stuff. And I'm not here to like sway people one way or another with AI. It's a tool. The tool in any hands of any person is up to how they choose to utilize the tool. It's the same thing with a knife. You can cut chop your vegetables with it, or you can do other things with a knife. It's a tool. It's a tool. And that's all I'm going to share about those things. So ultimately it's going to be up to you. Is there a shadow period of, so Uranus had moved out of retrograde. We will have shadow periods in the future, but no, Uranus is going to be, I don't know what degree it moved into fully, but definitely can do a quick Google on that specifically. Thanks, Bri. Because thank you, Johnny. Thank you guys for the happy birthdays. I will do the Google for you because I have fingers on keyboards. Let's look at November 27th, 2025. Why? I don't like the dates that we have here. We're doing some fun stuff here. I'm pretty sure Uranus only ingressed to 0 degrees. Hi, guys. I'm just doing fun dates. Maybe 1 degree? 1 degree? Yeah, only a single degree. Okay, so let's... Today. Oh my gosh! Ah, thank you! What the heck for all the gifts? Oh my goodness! Brasilerio. Why can't I no matter what, I don't think I'm going to be able to say your username. So I want to call you by your first name, but I also respect that you might not want the world to know your first name. Thank you. Thank you guys for all the sweet... Wow. Everybody say thank you. Say thank you for the gifted subs. Let's go. Let's go back to... Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for the follow, Nina. Okay, let's go back to today. And let's go back to here. Cast chart. Yay! Thank you! It's your birthday, so you know you want... Guys, please, everybody, my birthday wish is that I meet a nice person on my trip. Yay! Okay, okay, back to our regularly programmed schedule. Yeah, so if you want a deeper dive of Uranus and Gemini, I'll be writing about it on my newsletter, Letters from the 8th House, which you can subscribe to through the link in my bio. So definitely subscribe. And additionally, I have a full YouTube video breakdown on it. I'll set it to like my link in my bio. I'll set it as one of the YouTube videos that's recommended there. But let's jump ahead to the 26th, because then we have Venus. Venus in Gemini making a yummy sextile to Neptune. Interesting. I'm like, that Venus must be moving super quick. Oh yeah, we're looking later at night. I think this is earlier in the morning. Let's do like 8 a.m. Thank you guys for all the love and the gifts and liking and sharing the live. I see everybody's sweet faces. Okay. Okay, yeah. So Venus is making a sextile to... Huh? What in the world? No, Venus is sextiling Saturn. Why do I have... Hold up. I think I wrote the wrong thing down. That's crazy. My calendar is... Oh, I'm on May... Wait, what in the world? I was like, what is happening here? That was crazy. How was I on May 5th? Oh, I'm jumping ahead a week. Oh my gosh, that's why. I was like, what is happening here? I'm so glad I'm so smart with astrology. Thank goodness. Okay, so on Sunday, April 26th, Venus is going to be making a sextile to Neptune. I actually really love this energy. Thanks for the follow, Coldplays. Is that like Coldplay or... Okay, I'm going to not ask questions. I'm going to keep getting distracted. I love this. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it because Neptune is the highest octave of love and Venus is the planet of love, and Neptune in Aries has been like unconditional self-love, and this sextile just really feels like you talking about like, because Venus and Gemini, verbal communication about like your devotion to your self-love, like literally like talking about it, and it feels like this infectious energy, almost a little bit like a wildfire, like in a good way, in a like, I just can't contain like how much love is pouring out from me. Like I have to talk about it. I have to share it out with the world. I have to like let things, you know, be shared, let things, you know, be said. And it just really feels like a verbal devotion to love, whether that's love extending out from you or love like within, just like talking about it. Like this would be a beautiful day to write poetry, to write, to share, to communicate love. And yeah, I heard like there's a little hint of delusion in that too, because I'm not gonna lie, Neptune can be a little bit delusional, but it's like, as long as you're feeling centered in yourself, like I'm gonna say, like, maybe don't proclaim your love to somebody you just met. Right? Discernment, guys. Discernment. Discernment. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say about that. Now, later in the day, we have Mercury in Aries making a square to Jupiter in Cancer. So Mercury's at 18 degrees of Aries. Yo, we got a hype chest? What'd that mean? Hold up. Open. Oh, guys, look. I don't know what that did. I got a reward for the hype train. That's making me think of the Peace Train by Cat Stevens. Well, maybe that'll be our outro song. Okay. So squares, more tension. It's okay. It's fine. We're used to the tension at this point. So Mercury is our planet of communication in Aries. It's a little quick, but thank you. Yippies. I'm overwhelmed in such a good way. So Mercury in Aries had a little bit of a lesson, like a tough love, fatherly lesson from Mars and Saturn, but Mercury in Aries making the square to Jupiter feels a little bit like, how do I want to articulate this? I got to take a moment. maybe words not matching up with this is interesting, especially after the sextile. Because Mercury here is kind of like, it's a little bit of a verbal test around like the container of nurturing you've created for yourself. There can be a little bit of like this feels interesting. I'm not going to lie, because I'm feeling this sort of tense energy around. This is on Sunday, the 26th. You'll always be able to see the date down here. My mom's dog is like having a moment too while I'm talking about this. Because I want to break this into pieces so you guys can understand, because Jupiter in Cancer has been having us really expand like what it means to nurture self, mother self, and like then let that unconditional love pour out, that like nurturing pour out, but only once you filled your cup. And Cancer energy can have the tendency to like try to put other people first, but it really is about like, how do I feel first? How do I feel first? No, you're fine. You didn't do anything, Johnny. And Mercury in Aries has this like sharp tone to it, where it could maybe feel like, I'm seeing like, it feels a little bit more external, where there might be people like poking out the like the new sort of container that you've built to nurture yourself, and or you're doing it yourself, where there might be a little bit of like sharp tones in your mind of like, I can't believe I'm doing it this way, or I can't believe this happened, or I can't believe this. Like it feels a little bit like mental chaos, and like maybe lashing out when things are not perfect. Things are not feeling, you're not feeling safe to express. And so that's the like juxtaposition between the Aries energy and the Cancer energy, because Cancer just wants to feel safe. And Mercury is like just quick to say things before like literally testing the foundation. So it just feels like there might be opportunities for more expansion into allowing more nurturing in. And there could be like, no, I'm good. It's like saying no before getting the opportunity to actually like let something in. Testing out new idea a little bit, but it's also like, just be aware of your words of like, if you're quick to say no to something or yes to something, where it's like, make sure that no matter what with squares, there's tension that happens. And so no matter what the result is, there's a learning lesson that comes from it. So if you're like, no, I don't want that slice of pizza, even though you're like, I want the slice of pizza, but I don't want to be selfish and I don't want to be seen as like taking too much, right? Or automatically assuming somebody's intentions before they even state them. Yeah, yeah, exactly. All transits, like, don't be scared of it. Be aware of it. I love that. So no matter what, there's going to be that moment of like, or maybe you say something that's maybe a little harsh. Mercury in Aries is just kind of like, bleh, I just said something. And then it's like, whoops. I am a Taurus. Thank you, Alyssa. I am a Taurus. I love food. I love tweets. Thank goodness I don't have cookie delivery companies near me anymore, because yeah. Oh, thank you, Jen. I see all the sweet things people are sending. Thank you. My favorite cookie, I like inverse cookies. I like a chocolate cookie with white chocolate chips, or bonus if they're peanut butter chips. I'm a chocolate and peanut butter girly. Always. Hi, Layla. You're an Aries. I like food for fuel. That's so funny. I like food for pleasure. That was, yep. Did I have an eating disorder? Yeah. Yep. Have I recovered? Well, I don't know. I just love food. What else? I'm like, what else about this square? Because it really is like, the vision I'm seeing in my mind is somebody like just like poking at somebody for the sake of poking at them, whether that's a you against you or like there's multiple parts, because there's the person doing the poking, and then there's the sensitive person. And so it's like maybe you're the sensitive person being poked at, and it's just like really making sure you can nurture yourself, or you're the person doing the poking, not being aware that you're doing the poking, or there's two parts within you that this is just happening, right? All astrology is, you know, it's personal what comes up. So lots of transits happening this week. I feel like I talked a good chunk of time about them. So just a quick recap. On Monday, April 20th, it's my birthday, and Mercury is conjunct Saturn, and then Mercury is conjunct Mars. On Thursday, April 23rd, Venus is conjunct Uranus, and then Venus moves into Gemini. On Saturday, April 25th, the Sun is square Pluto, and then Uranus enters Gemini. And then on Sunday, April 26th, Venus is sextile Neptune, and then Mercury is square Jupiter. Lots of transits. But if you guys weren't able to stay the whole time, no worries at all, because I re-upload this recap to YouTube. And if you subscribe to my newsletter, you'll get an email from me tomorrow morning writing all of this out. Now, I'm going to pause, and the floor is open for questions. Any astrology questions you guys may have?